What is good intention? To have good intention is a mixed thing. It's not one thing. It's good, of course, to have a good intention. To have a good intention, usually people think that it's enough if you think, I like to do this for myself or for someone else, to do something good for someone, myself or someone else. But it is actually not enough. To have good intention can actually have the opposite effect if it is not coming from a deeper place in yourself, where you have deep knowledge. We can call this deep knowledge wisdom. This is a knowledge that is in your deeper self, in your soul, spirit, in your heart. Wisdom, we can also say, is intuitive knowing, because intuitive knowing comes from your physical body. You have it in your cells. Wisdom is in your cells. It's a deep knowing that comes from more than just knowing things. It's a deeper knowing, much deeper than the intellect, actually. So having good intentions doesn't guarantee a good outcome. It can actually have an outcome that is the opposite of good. So yes, of course, it's good to have good intentions. But it is said the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So have good intentions, but have wisdom, so that your intent does not produce ultimately the opposite of what is or was your good intent. Because it's actually very common that people use this and say to themselves or people that I had good intentions when the result was not so good. Maybe it was the opposite. Like you could save yourself, or you can complain that it didn't work out good, it did maybe work out the opposite, but you had good intentions. So then no one can say anything to you about what happened. This is very common. People project on each other that I did my best, I had good intentions, when they hurt someone. This is very common. So again, in any course of action you take, maybe the most important ingredients is to have access to the dimension in you where wisdom is arising, where it is arising, where you have your wisdom. And that is the essential part of any successful manifestation practice. This is actually what a very known teacher is saying, and Eckhart Tolle is his name, and is that you have, this is about that you have wisdom in together with your intent, so that you do not create bad when you wanted to create good. So it's necessary to be conscious in alignment with the true essence of who you are now, so you don't operate from your ego. And I will not complicate to go into that there are different parts of ego. There can actually be a very healthy ego, but of course when we talk about it in this sense, it's not the healthy ego. Bigger part of ego people have is not healthy, because you have to have wisdom to know this and understand. So it's not just to operate. You can't operate from your intellect. Or you cannot get drawn into one of the polarities of good or bad, or call it yin or yang. Because it requires that you have contact with wisdom, your wisdom and awareness. And actually, wisdom and awareness is one and the same thing. They are inseparable. They go together. They are actually one single thing. It is maybe subtle, but doesn't have to be complicated. You need to have go deep enough into yourself to realize that it's not so complex and complicated, and so you can live this. You can live your wisdom and live your wisdom conscious. When you live your wisdom conscious, your good intentions are a part of that conscious wisdom, that conscious awareness and wisdom.